last few years, but most recently, what's Upventur? What's going on at Upventur?
Oh, we've got a lot of good things moving. We've got some new things that are happening that we're excited about. We've got some new people that have joined the company that have brought some excitement, some passion.
Who might that be?
A guy named Mark Siri. I don't really know him, but and really help us focus on the direction. I think Upventur has always been an amazing idea, an amazing opportunity, but I think it's needed some focus. It's needed some pure direction and understanding of bringing all that together.
So, you and I have talked about this as well as Joel, but what is Upventur? Tell me, where did the name come from?
To me, it's about everybody personally has something that they either want to accomplish or they aspire to do. And for me, it's always been something in the outdoors. And if I could get a business around that, is what I've always wanted to do. And I think each person's Upventur is different, right? Mine, could be kid specific. I have 3 kids, so my Upventur with my son of doing something in the outdoors may be different than my daughter's, and with my wife, and that sort of thing. So I think everybody has that Upventur that they want to do. Like for you, what's your Upventur?
No, it's a great question. I mean, and you and I know that we've been talking and asking that question to a lot of people. For me, it's my son at this point. He's 17 years old. He's a junior in high school. I see time fleeting, and I just like going out and doing outdoor adventures with him. And part of it is just showing him that I'm still cool, and being guys together. But the other part of it is going out and conquering. So one of the recent ones that we did was we were on an ATV, and we were out on 5,000 acres out in western Texas, with some driving over mesas and going through rivers and through trees, and it was just a lot of fun. And at the end, we were out there all day. It just felt we were free, and we conquered together. So, and we laughed a lot. So for me, that was my Upventur. It's spending time and doing more adventures with my son, obviously with my family as well. Joel, what about you? What's your Upventur?
It's funny. My Upventur really is, to me, it provides a connection to the past a bit, right? I grew up in the country, rural part of Indiana. I grew up riding dirt bikes, going hiking, going camping with my family. We didn't have a lot of money, but some of the best memories of my life are those times we've been camping with the family. We've had a lake cottage since the mid-'70s. When I go there, and every time I got a fly rod in my hand or a bait caster bass fishing, my dad's there with me, even though he passed away 20 years ago.
Wow.
So it's very, very personal. And then the other thing is it just helps me be me. And what I mean by that is I think we've all had jobs or times in our lives where we kind of get wrapped around the axle, and you get caught up in the hustle bustle, you get caught up in all the stress of that. And once again, when I think back to the best times of my life, I think I was telling Craig the other night, I had a wonderful opportunity to be in Alaska on top of a glacier, dog sledding.
Oh.
And one of the best days of my life. Took a helicopter up there and a snowcat all the way up the glacier.
I saw the picture on our Upventur website.
I think about it and it's like, what a day. And I have 2 children, they're 21 and 23 now. The things in life that they remember are those days, and not
all the other stuff.
Not the other stuff.
It's interesting, as Craig, you and I, over the last basically 4 weeks, as we've been asking this question, we've seen such a range of answers, right? We've seen anything from someone who had an addiction issue, overcoming and using the outdoors as part of not only their recovery, but their victory. And they're sharing that. Actually, it's on our blog. His name is Adam Foe. We've had others, executive CEOs of companies, who have talked about going out and motorcycling over the Sierra in Sierra Nevada mountain chain, and spending time with their son with 1,000 miles of motorcycling, off-roading. We've had another gentleman who's future-facing, wanting to eventually in the future go to Mount Everest and train for it, finance it, and eventually he said, one day I will get to the top of Mount Everest. And then we've had skateboarders, a woman who, she's in her 40s and she decided she was going to get into skateboarding, and it was never too late to get started, and she's, big time into it. And what that's meant is part of her life. It's not necessarily just the event. It's not necessarily just the destination. A lot of people have been talking about the journey to get there.
It's the
journey.
So, any final thoughts, Craig, as we go into this pretty special week for us?
I would just, never. For me, you may be able to attain that adventure that you have set in your mind right now, but never be thinking about that next adventure. Right? Conquer what you want to conquer, complete it, and then what's the next one?
So, what's our part in that for folks that might be listening? How do we? What's our? Why might they be interested in?
Yeah, from an Upventur, technology platform perspective, it's about learning what other people's Upventures are. It's about sharing your existing Upventures, because other people may be inspired by your story, right? You may be inspired by other people's story, and it's just to constantly keep discovering it, keep doing it, and then just keep sharing it.
Great.
So I have one question for you, Mark.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, right? So Mark's
on the spot here.
Mark is relatively new to Upventur. We're super psyched to have you, bringing a tremendous
Going
amount
off
of
script, man.
energy and change, right, to the company, which is all positive. And we've talked about the MyUpventur and kind of what it means to you personally, but I guess, knowing what you know now, what really gets you jacked and excited and just pumped as all can be about Upventur going forward? Kind of where you see us.
Oh, on a personal
question.
basis. On a personal basis, it's taking business prowess and years on the business side and matching it to passion and
Right.
living life. For the company, I think we're going to make Upventur renowned in the industry, because we're not doing it. The reasons that you've heard from here and Craig is just being a part of helping people get out and experience life, and knowing that the stuff that we're doing is really helping people find their adventure so that they can actually, find their life, find themselves, and knowing that we're actually doing more than just building websites and doing more than just setting up events, that we're actually trying to help people find more joy in life. To me, that's the big thing, and the fact that we can wake up every day, every morning, thinking that, we can put one smile on someone's face,
Sure.
or have one person sweat a little bit more, or one person be away from their mobile phones or their computers and just experiencing this beautiful creation that we're in. My big idea is the fact that we're going to help that. It's just big answer, I guess. Kind of I'm totally enthusiastic about this. But anyways, this is totally us just having a chat and wanting to share with you guys a little bit of our journey. We got some big announcements this week, big contest that we're announcing, and we just want to thank you for joining. Take care.
And remember, what's your Upventur?